All right, so first things first is we want our support and resistance lines. So we're in the month of December right now. So I only like to go about back to maybe a few months, maybe 3, 4 months back. It's personal preference really. So you want to start with the biggest time frame. So we're gonna go with day. So you get your horizontal lines, and then you start drawing your support and resistance. So for support and resistance, the best support and resistance lines are going to be like the two touch rule. So right here you can see, say we drew a line here, right? It got rejected one, two, three, four, five, 6 different times. It got rejected here, so this would be a critical point right here, which would be basically 1408. And so once I saw that it broke it today, that's why I made that call out. So then we want to go and draw more support and resistance. So right here, it touched like 3 times. That's a good support line as well. And then right here, we can see it went up here and then broke down. So now we're in a range right here. This is a trading range. So once it broke below that, that should have been a signal to buy puts. And since we're in the day trading frame, all of these are long plays. So since this just recently broke, we could see it ride back up to $16. So now that we have our, so I guess let's do some more lines here. Like right here, it touched and it bounced up, and then so we have another range here, and then right here as well. It played that top for a while, so that's another support. And then we see our another range here, broke that range, rode up here, and then got rejected, and then broke through 2 levels. So I'm hoping this will break through 16. So we got our major day support and resistance, and you want to move down to the 4 hour. So at the 4 hour, you can see even more points. Like it touched twice here, so uh, that should be another big support slash resistance. And right here as well, once you narrowed it down to the 4 hour, you can see that it touched all day for like 5 days straight. It did not want to go below 1076. So then we want to move down to the 1 hour, and then you can get even more. Like right here, it touched twice. There's another support or resistance. And so now that we got the support and resistance down, let's move down over to the EMAs and more indicators. So let's go. So indicators. I use the SMA, which would be the MA, and then the EMA. So the difference is the MA is more for, it follows the trend a lot closer. These are my 2 MAs I got. And then the SMA is more long range, which would be these two I have down here. Go to edit indicators, and then the EMA, I use a 9 and the 21. And I make my colors here, and so I can differentiate. And then the SMAs, I use a 250. So now that we have our SMAs, EMAs, so a good time to call. So right here you see all the MAs and the SMAs squeezing, which means it's going to break out soon, and it did exactly that right here. So right here should have been an indication to watch out for it. Once these both of my EMAs crossed this 200 SMA, once that crossed, that shit is gonna like explode, which is exactly what it did. If you go down to daily, right here, as soon as it crosses that 200 SMA, that should be an indication to go long. So it might take a few days to hit 16, but it's probably going to happen. Like see right here, once these EMAs broke below the 200, which is a major support, that should be your indication to go to buy puts. It tested it again and then got rejected all the way down to $8. So that's how I use it. MAs, the SMAs and EMAs. Like right here, the two EMAs crossed below this 50 SMA, which should have been an indication to go short. And ride it down. And that's basically how I use my MAs, EMAs. We could do one more example, like let's do BA. I don't have any support and resistance lines, but you can use straight EMAs and SMAs to do like just about anything. So you go to the day frame, your your EMAs cross that 200 SMA, which should have been an indication to ride calls on it, because once it breaks that, it's gonna go up for a long ride. If it breaks it on the daily, that is, and then once it breaks below, that's gonna crash down. See, it broke the MAs broke below the 200, and they were squeezing, which means a big move is about to happen. You can also play the MAs on smaller time frames, like the 5 minute. It crossed the 200 and just fucking exploded upwards. And same with once they all squeeze together, that should be an indication of moves coming. And once you have your support and resistance lines, once it breaks a major resistance line with the squeeze, then you know that shit's about to take off.